My 2 scary encounters, posted by u/animlover659. So my first time I ever had a weird encounter, I was in my kitchen making a sandwich at about 2 p.m. I got that feeling like something was wrong. I looked to my left and a glowing white form, floating down my hallway. I looked and saw nothing. I know I saw someone. 2. I was about to go to bed and my radio turned to 0 and then turned off. I looked up and I saw a shadow figure with red eyes. It walked towards my door. As I slowly sat up and said WTF. It stopped and turned to look at me without moving its body, just the head. I froze. He disappeared. Dark red-eyed creature near Highland Village, Texas. Posted by u/lonely0n3. Last year during the fall I went camping in Pilot Knoll Park. I went to bed at around 11:30 and woke up about 2 hours later, at 2:25, because I had to go to the bathroom. On my way back I hear a noise and looked around. I saw a creature squatting on a tree branch. From the quick glimpse I saw it had reddish eyes and was a dark color. I was so scared that I ran back to my tent and stayed still until I fell asleep. When I woke up me and my friends packed up and left. I have seen it twice after the experience, once in the forest near my home where it was standing in the distance I saw it upright with its head hunched over, and once more at Pilot Knoll again where I noticed it had 2 claws on each hand and foot. My friend claims that he saw it once when hunting where he claimed it hung out around his truck. He says he saw 2 thin things protruding from the top of its head. Me and my friends started calling it the red-eyed man, also the Knoll man. That's all I have seen of this thing and all I know. I don't know if it has feathers, fur, or scales. I don't know if it has sharp teeth, or flat teeth. If you know about the Knoll man or have seen it too, I am very interested in your story. My mom called me. It wasn't her. Posted by u/ilovecookie5432. I have seen a lot of people have these experiences and read a lot about them, but what my experience with this shit went way over the line with whatever dead thing was trying to mess with my brain. It was like 8 a.m. and I was sleeping. I heard my mom call my brother. I was half awake at the time and kinda had my eyes half open and I was just staring at the wall contemplating life. It was summertime. My house has very thin walls, so when someone calls you can tell exactly where in the house they are. My house has a long hallway with all the bedrooms, and walking out of the hallway is the living room, and in the living room a door leads to the garage/laundry. My mom was calling my brother's name from the laundry. I hear my mom call my brother again. Second time. He didn't respond cause I guess he didn't want to get up. I woke up more this second time and sat up in bed. I had this weird feeling I can't describe. Like something was just off. Like a protective sixth sense or something. My mom called his name a third time. This time she sounded upset and I got up. My room is right next to my brother's. As I was leaving my room, he was opening his door. I told him to stay in his room, just had a feeling. I went into the living room to find the laundry door closed. I said, "Mom?" and opened it. The laundry room was dark. No one was there. I didn't go in, but I closed the door. I go to my parents' room and check if they're in bed. Oh yeah, they're not, because I realized it's a fucking Tuesday in the summer. School's out and we're home alone, parents at work. Here's the worst part. Freaked out, I sat on the couch and just tried to comprehend what happened. I was still a little bit loopy from waking up, so I went on Instagram to calm down. My brother comes out of his room and asks what's up. I say nothing and he sits on the couch and goes on his phone too. We have this white gate outside that wraps around the sidewalk that leads to the front door, so the dogs don't run out and escape when we have groceries. The gate opens loosely and makes a banging sound when it closes. My brother and I hear a car arrive outside. It sounds like my mom's van. We hear a car door slam. We hear my mom talking distantly. My brother and I hear the gate open. We hear my mom speaking Spanish loudly like if she was on the phone. We see a shadow go across the front window blinds that's all along the wall next to the front door. We hear my mom's keys shaking in her hand. We hear the gate bang. We hear keys rattle on the door shakes. The Ring doorbell goes off on Alexa. The door shaking and the keys rattling and my mom's voice talking stops, and then suddenly, my mom calls me. My mom is still at work and called us to tell us our chores. My brother and I freaked the fuck out. I'm shaking, terrified, almost crying, my brother silently freaking TF out. I've heard of people being called by their parents and their parents have not called them, but this experience was on a whole other level. This was insane. What was trying to get in my house? Why was it leading me into the laundry? Was it trying to hurt us? Why TF was it going what it was doing? WTF did it want, and what was it getting from pretending to be my mom? Have you ever been a part of something paranormal as an aggressor? Posted by u/Hyperion Primex. So my house is haunted. I've got stories for days, much like we all do on here, and have experienced things much like the lot of you who have had a run-in with the paranormal. However, I've always been of the belief that if these fantastical entities exist and they truly feed off of our fears, then there must be a way to reflect that energy or repel it/redirect it. So I did a little experiment. I had a few friends over, as was the norm in my house. This was pre-quarantine. I had the biggest TV and most game systems and fastest internet of my friends group, so they would all congregate at my house and we would have fun and constantly have sleepovers. They all knew that my house was haunted but hadn't really experienced much. On this particular night, 4 of us, myself included, were in my room talking and joking around. 3 of us were in the living room watching YouTube videos on a laptop someone had recently bought that they were showing off. All the lights in the house were off and we were all having a good time. I suddenly got this feeling that I was being watched and a cold chill went down my spine. I ignored it for the moment, as I've been through this so much it was almost weird when it didn't happen. I decided I wanted to go see what the others were doing, and so I got up to go see. In that moment I felt like I myself was part of the darkness in my house. Like I blended in so well with the blackness that I wanted to see if I could sneak close to them and go unnoticed. The hallway leading to the living room was in direct eyesight of the couch my 3 friends were sitting on. They were facing me, but they were focused on the laptop that was sitting on the lap of the person sitting in the middle. We will call her Caroline. I was approaching them quietly and very slowly. When I noticed that they could not see me at all, even though I was but 10 feet away, I got a sudden urge to just sit down in the middle of the living room. So I sat as quietly as possible, and they kept talking about the YouTube videos they were watching like they had been. I started to stare at Caroline and focused all of my mind on her. I did not blink and I did not look at either of the other 2 friends sitting at her left and right. At first nothing happened. Then I began having really weird thoughts in my mind about how easily it would be for a ghost/demon to come and mess with them if they were so oblivious to me being so close without them noticing. For some reason I began getting inexplicably annoyed and frustrated, but I made no sound. I just kept my hard stare right into her eyes, though she was looking down at the screen. Then it happened. For a second she stuttered and looked past the screen of the laptop and into the darkness. Not directly at me or even in my direction. Just in a random spot on the wall behind me. She continued watching and fell back into conversation, only to stop a moment later and look up again into the dark. She rubbed the back of her neck and she seemed visibly unsettled. She tried to watch the video, but though the other 2 were relaxed and focused, she was no longer there. Her breathing had changed and her eyes kept wandering. "Can we turn a light on?" she said. The other 2 stopped and looked at her. "Ah yeah," one of them said with a perplexed look. They began to get up and I did too, thinking my little experiment was over, but as I stood up she began screaming uncontrollably and was staring at something above me. Now, I'm 6'1", which is above average height, but she was staring up at the ceiling and screaming bloody murder. I immediately felt bad, thinking that I had just been an asshole to scare her like that. After apologies were said and the commotion died out, we all went back to having a good time, and I felt strange. I felt like I didn't why I had done all of that. What a fucking creep, I thought myself. In the morning though, after we all woke up and had breakfast, I looked over to Caroline and said sorry once again, still feeling bad. She said to me, "It's okay. It wasn't you. There was something very tall standing either on you or right behind you." The hair stood up on my neck and I always wondered if I was some sort of conduit for the spirits at that time. Any sorry for the long post. Poltergeists can't follow people, right? Posted by u/Sputnikpix. This is my first time posting here. I'm sure I'll be sharing dozens of stories here, as a lot of them I've never gotten to tell and I enjoy sharing. So, I've had strange encounters and experienced paranormal things since before I can even remember. I wonder, can things that act as a poltergeist follow an individual? I ask because, in almost every house I've lived, I've experienced activity. Most very similar. 2 separate homes I lived in the same town had almost exactly the same activity. Doors opening/closing, lights turning on and off, loud banging, things falling and disappearing, that sort of thing. The first house got pretty intense before I left. The kitchen light fixture was torn from the ceiling, a window was torn out of the frame, and I kept coming home/waking up to all doors/cabinets/drawers opened. And saw an entity in my bedroom. The next house I moved into, same things happened and I saw the same energy figure. Things in that house escalated much faster, lights unscrewing themselves, hearing talking, hearing footsteps running toward you, doors slamming, things getting broken, but since I moved to the other side of the country, everything stopped. Gradually though, our lights have begun flickering when I enter the room. Our doorknobs occasionally jiggle on their own, and we've recently started seeing things move out of our peripheral vision. A month ago I swore I heard my husband open our front door and say something to me. Upon investigation, he was still at work. Our cats have reacted to all incidents, and have randomly hissing with their tails fluffed up 3 to 4 times in the last few months. Very out of character for them, they're super non-aggressive kitties. We've lived here for a year without major incident. But things are progressing very similarly to the past. Could it somehow be the same thing? Or am I just paranoid?
Thanks for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe for more videos.